Hello soul friends, this is Miriam. Welcome back to my channel. Today's pick a card reading is going to be all about you versus them, you versus some other person. This could be any person on your mind, professional, personal, romantic, or platonic. Okay. Remember, no matter your individual beliefs, tarot or oracle reading is your spirit guides coming forward to give you advice, or it is simply your subconscious mind helping you answer life's ponders. No matter how you look at that, it is healthy and you are in the right place. Be careful finding this one. I think you can only find it at Etsy. Here is their website. This gal also has a channel. I watch a lot of her pick a card readings. Here is her info. And I believe that's what her YouTube channel is called. I think it has her name in it. Yes, the big one. That is this deck right here. If you like to pick, oh wait, hang on. We will be using a lot of oracle cards today. So here is just some of the ones we will be using. These are the heart-shaped ones right there. I do have some Lenormand cards that I got on Etsy. I will try to remember to put the link in because they did not send a box. I think it came in a little bag. These are this deck here. I cannot promise you that this isn't a copyright infringed deck. I'm not sure because there's not like a code on it. So I'm not sure. They do look kind of faded. Just know this is a deck that gets duplicated a lot, and the seller, I believe they're out of print. So I guess it probably doesn't matter. Okay, so anyway. More oracle cards. We have these ones here, way over here. And then this deck here are these. So no matter which tarot deck you pick today, you'll be getting oracle cards from all of those and Lenormand cards as well. So extra spicy. What we're going to do is basically start with your side-by-sides and figure out if you're in the right group, and then we'll just start to kind of pick apart your relationships. Group 1, you are Howlite. A little Howlite heart. Group 2, I don't know what this is, but it's kind of purpley, kind of pink, kind of purple. Oh my. Group 3, you are this black and red heart. I don't know what it is. In group 4, you have like some snow quartz, it looks like. And there you go. All right, pause if you need. Otherwise, we'll see you in your individual readings, all about you versus them, what's going on between you and this person. We'll see you there. Bye. Hello, group 1. So if you picked the Howlite Heart in the Modern Love Tarot, well, let's look and see what's going on with you and this person. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get some you versus them cards first to make sure that you're in the right groups. So Spirit, please give me, thank you. Oh, that's only one card. Okay. Interesting. I definitely feel this is them. And I definitely feel this one is you. And I also feel this one them. And this one you. That's probably good. So we'll look at these and just see, you know, what's going on. So this is them, this is you. If you feel like this is more you, this is more them, you can flip them. I'm not going to come and spank you for that. I won't even know. So take it however it resonates. Okay, this card's been calling to me. And I feel like this is for both of you. Some of these cards I'm going to end up having to censor probably. I don't feel any other cards coming out of this right now. Okay, so I'm just going to set this back. Now we're going to get some of these. These are romance cards, so they talk about like you guys in general, what's going on between people, etc. I want one of each of these for you. One for their energy, one for yours. Okay, let's check it out. I'm not gonna lie, I already feel romance vibes, which is super gross, but I mean, it's a you versus them reading, so I guess I had to kind of expect it. If you've never been to these readings before, I like to diss on lovebirds, even though I'm one myself. Been happily with the same partner for like 26 years. But that doesn't mean I want to hear about other stuff. Just kidding. Am I? I don't know. Okay, anyway. Hopefully that's somewhat in the same area that it was in before. I know it's never a great setup, especially when I'm doing these at night. I've been working night shifts, and I like to do these during the day when it's like in the morning and my, partner is still asleep and I can just focus and the lighting's really good. And you don't see my stupid shadow the whole time or glare on the cards or any of that nonsense. But hopefully this camera app that I'm using, it usually does a little bit better in dim light. If it's like light, it usually gets a little too exposed. So anyway, my bad. Sorry. You don't care about this. I don't even care about this. What am I talking about? Let's get to your people here. So this is going to represent them. This is going to represent you. This is going to represent you guys together. If you don't feel like it's meshing well, then it's just probably the wrong pile for you. And you can pick a different one or a different reading. There's probably a lot of timeless Valentine's Day readings by now. Actually, probably not, because I hate romance. But anyway, let's see what your person looks like. Actually, let's do you first. And that you, we'll figure you out first, and then we'll figure out who your person is. Okay, so we're going to start with these two. The poisoned apple, jealousy. Okay. I did get a little bit of a feeling of sort of like that sensation of like, not like petty jealousy, but worrying that they're going to like cheat on you energy was definitely coming through at the start of this pile. So if you're going through that, you're definitely in the right place. We have the Rose Elf for Revelations, number 29. This one makes me feel like some of you found out that your misgivings were correct, that they were cheating. So that's something that definitely, so if you know that somebody cheated on you, you're definitely in the right place for that as well. Not that I want you to be. That's the worst pain. Actually, it's probably not the worst pain, but okay, sorry about that. I keep not knowing if I'm actually like recording or not because it's a different app. So I'm like, are we all still here? So number 6 is the poison apple with jealousy. Yeah, I definitely feel like the people that have been cheated on know that they've been cheated on. I don't know if like I'm trying to sense if there's somebody here that's like worried they're getting cheated on, but that's not happening yet. I guess it depends on what we see here. So maybe stick around if you're just worried, even if, just to see if something else resonates for you. But yeah, it's like this feeling of like feeling worried about them like turning their head to somebody else, and you then also finding like some evidence of like shady shiz. I'm sorry. That sucks. Okay, let's look at your overall energy for you. We have Consecrate Tools, number 16. I will claim what is mine, what I see beyond the hidden. Gifted Spirit, by tongue my words spill with purpose. Okay, so you want to know the truth, though. I feel that 100%. So even if you're not sure, I feel like all of you are like unflinchingly like ready to, you just want to know the truth. Okay. So that's what you've got going on. You're in the right group. Let's go ahead and take a look at them. I'm not picking up on much else. So let's look at this person. We have number 11, the tinderbox soldier, ambition. So right off the bat, I'm getting kind of a self-absorbed energy. I'm not going to lie. And then we have 21, the 12 dancing princesses, enchantment. Okay, so I'm getting a very definite, strong vibe of somebody who's not faithful. So like if you're like, no, we've been faithful for the last 20 years, there's no way that that would be the case, then you're definitely in the wrong group. If you know, you know. Yeah. And that's rough. Like I feel like there's a lot of there, you know, still could be, at least with you, you know, there's love there still. When people cheat, I think they probably still can love. I think I've seen both, you know, like I've seen people that like loved their person, but they just weren't attracted to them anymore. I've seen that kind of thing. I've seen like, you know, stuff like that. But this feels like kind of unfeeling, kind of like when I hear the 12 dancing princesses, it's like it almost feels like. Okay, so anyway, yeah, it definitely feels like this person maybe wasn't very caring towards you. I do feel like a lot of intense connection. Like they might have love bombed you at first, that kind of energy. And that's like another reason why you're so dead set on like, I want the truth. Like, I don't even care anymore. Like, if it hurts, like, I just need to know who am I dealing with here? Because I feel like this sort of two-facedness, this like 12 dancing princesses kind of feels like maybe there's even like 12 different people that this person cheated on you with. I don't feel like that's like the case for all of you, you know, like it could be just one cheat, you know, or whatever. But, sort of just like this person's kind of up for anything when it comes to just sorting out how they want to do things, as opposed to not really considering the feelings of their partner. So that's what I'm picking up on them so far. This ambition is sort of self-involved. Like I see somebody that's very maybe career oriented. This might have been very impressive to you at first, but then you realize that they're kind of hollow about it. Maybe you don't realize that yet, and that's what you came here to learn. Sort of like a ruthless ambition. And then, yeah, sort of dazzled by things around them and always kind of looking for things to give them more personal gain is definitely. For their energy overall, I got candle dressing, sharp as nails, engraving my will, intentions, spoken, declare what will be. So yeah, definitely feeling that you guys want to know what this person's intentions towards you are. Like, I don't feel like they're great guys, like across the board. And I think that you know that. I think that maybe some of you are just here for closure. I don't know if you guys heard that just now, but it was a weird noise that I've never heard before. So take that for what that feels like to you. I don't know if you heard it. What did that sound like to you? Tell me in the comment section. That was weird. It sounded like somebody starting their car, and I hear the car, but there was some other thing that happened. I'm not sure. That was strange. Anyway, I feel like the sharp as nails part of this card too, talking about this person kind of being like harsh. And that they engraved your will, like you kind of had to like rearrange things for them and never the other way around. See the little like horns in her bun? Not that horns are evil, but you know, just kind of like some kind of oppressive, devilish energy, candle dressing, like kind of bending people to their will. It's shady, I think. So if you're like, no, they're the most honest person in the world, like you're either in the wrong group or you're in denial, my friend. Like I'm not seeing good things here. Okay, let's go ahead to the cards between you. We have this little like, dove of peace is what it looks like to me. Okay, here we go. You may not always understand why certain things happen. However, there's always a higher purpose to the events in your life. Through turmoil, a blessing will soon be revealed. Dang. Well, that's pretty. That is very, let's hold that up for you for a second in case you need to pause. That is very relevant to what we're seeing here. It's like there's not even a, oh, things might kind of work out. You know, you guys are like kind of saying like, this is done and over, like time to heal. I would agree. I mean, you feel like you've been poisoned, you know, that somebody etched their intention into your will. That's like, you know, real ouchy stuff. 100% too. Okay, let's see what else we've got. Okay, so we have make effort. Great love is worth taking the steps you're guided to take. Ooh, okay. And attraction. You attract romantic love by enjoying this moment fully. Okay, very beautiful message from your guides. So what I'm feeling with these is, and I know this is going to sound counterintuitive, and it always does, but, you know, and then we're going to get into your tarot, so we still have a lot of ways to go, but your guides are kind of saying to you right now that the effort that you need to make to find, like, the right person for you, because it isn't this one, right? I would hope not, guys. I mean, you can always go back for seconds and thirds and relearn the same lesson over and over again, but life is pretty flippin' short. I'm just being totally honest. If you're like, that's not them, no, you're in the wrong pile. The message for this one is not good. So, anywho, putting that behind you and healing, making an effort to attract romantic love by enjoying this moment fully, enjoying who you are now, enjoying who you are when you're single, enjoying who you are meant to become, exploring who you're meant to become. Because every time you have like a breakup with somebody that you really love, like in a sense, part of your identity is taken away. I feel like some of you have very beautiful green eyes. It's just the green eyes are really popping, especially hers. But anyway, I feel like you need to fall in love with yourself a little bit is definitely the message here. See her little unicorn there? Unicorn is that sense that people call themselves that when they're unique, they're a one of a kind, they're main character material. Like, that's you, babe. Everyone's, I'll never call you babe again. Well, and then we have this little stag. The stag is always about leading you to the answer. You have the revelations. More will be revealed. That's always something that you can expect is more to come. Every time you have a big awakening, like this person's wrong for me, that's a huge awakening to have, no matter what the relationship is. You are kind of reborn, right? And part of you does kind of get left behind, whatever, you know, whether it's a good part to leave behind, like naivete or something along those lines, or if it's, you know, just something that it's time to grow up and move on from, that's all okay. And so the message is very clear, like, this needs to be in the past. Leave them to their misery that they sow, you know, and we can look and see, you know, I feel like there's somebody out there kind of being like, what's going to happen to them? We can look at that. Well, let's look at it now before I forget. Then we're going to focus more on you. All right. What is going to happen to this person that hurt group one? Okay, so we have the end of a cycle with the world. We have Two of Wands. Two of Swords. And Nine of Cups. So here's the deal. Like this person's going to continue on as they have been, which is kind of like, you know, acting like this is a big ending chapter for them too. Meeting somebody new, cheating on them again, or breaking down, or self-sabotaging, or sabotaging their relationship or something, and them just kind of moving on to the next and not really being emotionally upheaved by any of it. And I know that, you know, most people that watch these sorts of things are hoping that I'm going to show like him being all sad or her being all sad and dejected and fully also understanding what they've done. To be continued. Okay, so where was I? I'm gonna make light of this. I was like on a long call. I was on 2 long calls before I came back. It's even later than it was when I started. And this popped into my head. I was like, okay, what was this reading about? And I was like, oh yeah, Cheater McGee. Cheater McGee over here. I'm sorry, I can't let Cheater McGee off the hook on this one, guys. I'm like, I was trying to talk all nice before, but now, you know, I've been through like 2 long readings with, like personal readings with 2 other people, you know, and they're going through some shiz themselves, you know, we all are. So anywho, yeah, I see this person going about their business and doing the same things over and over again until that doesn't work for them anymore. Generally, what ends up happening to people like that, it goes down in about 2 different ways if they don't change. We all have free will to change. But if they don't, this is 2 ways that it goes down. They find somebody that's so broken down that they put up with them long term. And they end up resenting them because they're such a pushover. And so they like abuse them all the time. Not like abuse, you know, but like they like abuse the situation. They like abuse their feelings. That kind of feeling. Or they end up totally alone because their looks fade over time. People get hip to their tricks and they end up not being with anybody at the end. Sometimes they get a little combo of both in like 2 or 3 different marriages, you know, stuff like that. So honestly, I mean, that's the only 2 roads that I see that type going through, unless they change. If they change, then the sky's the limit of what you could do, right? Just like anybody. So let's look and see. My goodness. Group 1. Calm down. Okay, looking down there, I'm seeing some swords. I'm not sure. 9 of Swords. Okay, that's what I thought. I don't need to bring that up here. 9 of Swords is like anxiety. Let's see what else is going on for you. We have King of Pentacles. The 3 of Pentacles. Judgment. Okay. The Fool in reverse. And the Lovers. Okay. So here's the deal. There's a specific message in here for not all of you, but for some of you. I just want to get to that really quick. With the Judgment card and the Fool in reverse and the Lovers, your guides are kind of warning for some of you that some of your exes are going to try to come back into your life. They'll come back in 2 different ways. Well, I know I made a big mistake. I didn't know what I was doing and I should have treated you better, blah, blah. It's all going to be different. And then they kind of coax you into the same cycle you're just now getting out of. Or they will come back in sort of like nonchalant, like, how have you been? Let's not even act like anything catastrophic has gone down between us. Let's just pretend like we never had anything happen at all. Those are the 2 different ways I see it happening. And they're going to try to like get back into the lover thing with you. What I want to kind of point out with these 2, and I don't know if I would feel like this about this card every time I drew it. It just happens to be in the spread that it's in. But see how like this is kind of snake-like? And I love snakes, don't get me wrong. But it gave me that feeling of like somebody trying to lure you in, like deceive you, be a snake, that kind of not good snake metaphor. So that is in there for some of you when that person tries to come back in. The rest of the message is very much just like focus on you, focus on your work, focus on getting that money, focus on the things that are happening in your life that are going well. Don't worry about finding somebody new right off the bat. Like, you can find somebody anytime you want. Right now, you need to focus on some self-care. And those of you that are working, it looks like good things are coming towards you in work as well, financially speaking. If you're not working, some uptick in your finances is going to be expected. Four of Wands is also coming through for your future, my friends. And I feel like that's a very good card to get because, well, this person's going to keep doing the same thing and probably be fine with it. Like, they're showing you actually finding things that are more worthwhile. And you might have to, kiss somebody goodbye to make it happen. But they're showing balance and a stable relationship, stable partnership. Celebrating that partnership is definitely in the cards for you. And not for them. Ha ha ha. Okay. At least not partnership that they'll have fun having for any length of time. Oh, look at that. You got the Sun. And the King of Cups. King of Cups is somebody who's emotionally available, somebody who's faithful, somebody who cherishes nurturing emotional well-being within their lives. And the Sun is saying that everything's going to be wonderful, that everything's going to be great. So, I mean, like, honestly, with that, I'm going to leave it there. If this was helpful, tell me how in the comment section. Give me topic ideas there as well. If you'd like to book a private reading with me, check out the description box. There are ways to get a hold of me there. All right, we'll see you next time, my friends. Take care. Bye. Okay, sorry about that. So anyway, I'm seeing good things for you in general. I think I was just leaving it at that, and then I got like a call when we were going in. So I guess I'll close it here. If this was helpful, tell me how in the comment section. Give me topic ideas there as well. If you'd like to book a private reading, there are ways to get a hold of me in the description box. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye. Group 2. So if you picked this little heart in this deck of tarot cards, which we will not look at yet. Mwaha. We're going to do oracle cards first. Make sure you're in the right group. And then we'll get into your tarot. But this is going to be a you versus them. So we're going to first find out about how you feel. What you feel is going on with this person. And that'll give you a hint if you're in the right spot. And then we'll get into how your person feels. And then you'll really know if you're in the right spot. Oh, dear me. It is what it is. Things are already getting complicated with you, group 2. And I think you know they're already complicated, but I'm starting to clue in to this being a complicated situation. Yes. Excuse my sniffling. I forgot to do these for the last group. Sorry, group 1. Okay. Or if you're like competitive, you'd be like, in your face, group 1, in your face. It's up to you. Totally up to you, man. Okay, I'm picking those up for you guys collectively speaking. I'm going to kind of hold these off camera after I'm done shuffling because I have some nudities in them. Okay, this one's not too bad. Okay. Try this out. There's something else here. Nope, I guess not. Okay. Racy. Cover that one up. Alrighty. Let's take a look at you, how you feel versus how they feel and what they're up to. And then we'll get some collective info on the two of you. And then we'll get into your tarot. I'd like to start with these ones. For these. The Sea Maiden Promises 22. Okay, definitely feeling some romance vibes. 8 Puss in Boots. Wit. Somebody's name might be Wit or Wit. 5 Gretel. Ingenuity. Okay. Interesting. Interesting. You energy, group 2. I'm intrigued. Okay. 22, 8, and 5. Like those are significant dates for you in some respects. I'll let you dish that out amongst yourselves. I definitely feel romance vibes. I feel like with the promises, like you feel like somebody was giving you promises and maybe they outwitted you in some way. I'm feeling that a little bit. And that some of you have gotten creative in trying to like outwit this partner of yours. Okay. That can also be exciting. It can also be quite draining to have a partner that you're trying to outwit all the time. Let's look at what your overall energy says about you. Forged in fire. Oh my. 21. Your strength was crafted through adversity and mastery only you behold. Okay, so that goes along with what I'm already seeing, that you are definitely like, if somebody owes you an explanation, I'm going to go ahead and cover her up. She's a little naked. You're going to get that explanation. If someone, you know, seems to be trying to outplay you or outwit you in some way, you're going to give it back to them. I'm definitely getting that from your energy, group 2. So if you feel like that fits the bill, and if you feel like you're kind of sort of playing a game of wits with this person that you're romantically involved with, is what it feels like so far, then this may be the group for you. Let's see what else we have for you here. 35, the anchor. Interesting. So I feel this like strain of trying to outwit somebody or trying to work through adversity and try. It's almost like you're fighting for something really hard here. Group 2. If you're fighting really hard for this relationship, or if you just fight really hard for everything in your life, that could be a message here for you. This is a very like anchored, like steady energy that I was not expecting. Kind of gives you some interesting balance. I'm again intrigued by you. Group 2. Who are you? You're an interesting cat, let me just say. So yeah, I'm mostly feeling romance vibes. I feel like you're willing to wait a certain degree, that you're willing to be realistic about certain things as long as you know the truth, etc. Let's see what's going on with your person. The Wood Maiden Trust. Interesting. The Little Match Girl Choice. Sorry, this was number 39. This is number 19. Little Match Girl's Choice. And Hansel is Survival. Interesting. Okay. Okay, so for some of you in this group, you are actually kind of looking at multiple people. And don't worry about the genders. Plug those in wherever you need them to be. Focus more on the survival, the trust, and the choice. It's almost like this one wants you to choose them. This one, I feel like some of you want to trust them, but you can't. And you know you can't. Others have made it clear to that person that they shouldn't trust you. You know, a lot of energy here, people. Y'all better calm down. Just kidding. I'm just overwhelmed. You're fine. And I'm just I'm just making light of things. What else about trust? I also feel like for some of you, this person represents somebody that you do trust, but you're kind of like friends with benefits. And it's kind of a push and pull between the two of you. Interesting. Hand soul survival. And like, I feel like some of you have this little message of like, there's a lot of people that don't know about you being with those other people. And that's kind of feels like you're in survival mode there. And by you, I mean your person kind of situation. And so there's also that feeling as well. Some of you are involved with those two other people, and then your third person is represented by this person that's kind of in a weird survival mode, and we can look into why that is. There's a lot of stuff here. Hang on. Trying to be general, but I'm also trying to get everything that came out just now. It was a doozy. Okay. So yeah, so if you guys are involved with more than one person, you're definitely in the right group. I apologize for all the shaking. I have restless kitty cats roaming around, being restless. I want to get through this. Okay, more about your person. This person also, if they're just represented as one person with these three cards, there's an issue with like trust and choice. It has to do with them having like a weird survival instinct, something from a traumatic childhood. So that could sort of give you a hard time with figuring out what they want, how they want it, when they want it, how serious are they? Are they serious? Do they even like me? Yada, yada, yada. That's also coming through. So man, jot down notes if you're like, that sounds like me, because I don't know if I can revisit all of that as we move forward in a general reading. I'm sorry. Yeah, I feel like some of you have had to really think outside the box to try and navigate through these relationships, whichever ones they may be. And there's a lot of like emotional, I don't want to say turmoil, but like a lot of emotional back and forth a bit, you know, because there's like either more than one person involved, or there's like one person encompassing a lot of things that are affecting you, that have been affecting them their whole life, etc. Let's see what else they say about their overall energy. We have River Rocks 34. Go with the current, dear one. Find peace in letting go. Let life wash over your soul and welcome your becoming. So I feel very much like your person is kind of going with the flow, in the sense of they're going with what feels familiar to them. In a large sense, if we're dealing with three different people, like I still see it for each one of them. It's like the trust person is familiar with you in some way. The little match girl, you know, wants you to choose them. And like maybe these are representative of the type of people that are in your life, you know, and not just each person. But in any regard, it's a complicated situation, but I feel like the person over here is kind of more going with the flow, not analyzing things as much, they're not trying as hard to play a game of wits with you. They might still be playing it. It just might not be in the forefront of their thinking the way it is with maybe some of you over here. So if you're wondering if they're playing games, I think it's safe to say that they're kind of not. But they're also not really showing a lot of seriousness either. Like they're showing a lot of like, you know, this one feels serious, that there's somebody that wants you to choose them. But like, have you ever met somebody that's kind of like that, and at the same time they don't want you to choose them? Like, and as soon as you choose them, they're like, just kidding, I don't want you. And you're like, dang it, Charlotte, you know, that kind of situation. Anyway, I can't rule that out. We have a number 8. This person fears change, which would make sense with all of them, with the survival stuff. So person or persons that fear change. It's a lot of stuff there, guys. That's a lot of stuff. I hope that I got to the people that needed to be got to. Let me know in the comments. Okay, let's look at you guys overall on the back of this card here. It is important right now to take a step back and spend some time alone instead of placing your focus on another. Now is the time to give to yourself. I like that advice for you. You don't have to decide everything that you need to do with this person or these people like all in one day. You can kind of figure it out as time goes by. That Gretel energy of using your ingenuity to do what you need to do, you know, to get through what you need to get through is perfectly understandable, acceptable. You don't have to do it all right now. Finances and career. Financial issues are a factor in your love life right now. We'll talk about that in a minute. Keep an open mind. Your soulmate may differ from your usual type and expectations. Oh, like you needed any more stuff to wonder about. Thanks. Forgiving and learning. As you release and heal the past, you experience more love in your present moments. Yes, that fits very well. I feel like for some of you, keeping an open mind, you know, about like how you're living your life, what these people are doing, you know, what control you have over other people and what they do. That's something to kind of anchor yourself to as well, is that knowledge that you can only do so much and then people have to make up their minds about what they want to do. And that is something to remember here. And keeping an open mind that maybe things that you're chasing after aren't the things you want after all. Maybe they are, but maybe they're not. Okay. As you release and heal the past, you experience more love in your present. Yeah. I feel like this group here definitely need to heal a lot more. And I feel like you need to heal a little bit in the sense of, I don't know, like having to feel like you gotta strategize your way through like a relationship. I know that like every relationship, it takes some strategizing, right? But like I feel like there is a message there for some. If it's like a thing that you feel like you have to do, that's definitely something to look at. The career thing, some of you might work with these people, some of you might be affected by, you know, your personal life in a way that is affecting you at work, is another message that's coming through, just to let you know that you're in the right place. And we can move on to your tarot. All right, my friends, let's go. So basically, we can look at what to expect with you and them. And I'll just kind of see what's coming out, and then we'll see about work stuff maybe. Help me, spirits. Guide me. There's a lot of energy here. Thank you. We have 6 of Wands in reverse. The Fool. 2 of Wands. Knight of Cups. So I'm seeing as obviously a mix because there's a lot of energies here, but basically, you know, with a lot of the people, especially the ones that are seeing multiple people, it's like this sense of you can't pay attention to all of them equally, etc. And so for some of you, you guys are saying that the one that you are supposed to be with is just going to sort of emerge, and you'll know who to choose and who to give your heart to. That is a message coming through. Some of you might already kind of know deep down who you want, and you're just looking for confirmation that the one you really want is the one that you should want, right? If you're having that feeling, I would say go for it. You're with the right one. Go for the one you want. Somebody's getting a message with the 6 of Wands in reverse that if the person isn't giving you enough attention and you're having to chase them like a fool, they might not be the choice for you, and you might want to put your efforts towards somebody who's willing to get down on one knee for you. That's a message coming through. I just heard a guide say, it's okay, you're going to know what the answer is when you get there. So if you're having a hard time deciding if you're ready to say goodbye to somebody, if you're ready to take that leap of faith in that sense, that you'll know when. Okay. I know that sometimes it feels scary for some people when you break up with somebody to not have somebody else waiting in the wings to kind of set your attention and your hope on again. I'm going to always encourage people to break away from that, to spend alone time with you. What else? What's going to happen with your person? Let's look into that a little bit. Yeah, it's hard. There's, you know, if you're seeing multiple people, like generally they're not all going to be okay with it. There's somebody's going to end up feeling bummed out about it. So that's definitely a message coming through. Some of you that are dealing with somebody that's kind of dealing with, they can't choose, they can't trust, they're in survival mode because of those things, or, you know, because they can't trust, they're in survival mode, whatever came first. They've got their issues. That can lead to a lot of heartache and a lot of trouble between you and them. Let's get some more of what's going on with your person. I know, and there's a lot of attraction and a lot of love that I'm feeling coming through, like a lot of strong connection with these people, whether it's one person or a few, or, you know, two or whatever. It's definitely like a strong, like I realize it's hard to let go of any of them. You guys are showing some kind of stability or balance coming into your life. I mean, I guess everything's going to find a balance eventually, so that is something to kind of expect. That can come in all kinds of forms. Not all of them are comfortable. So if you're trying to avoid this, you know, I always say take care of your own heart wisely, you know. Yeah, communicate wisely. Don't just go off half-cocked and say something to somebody. Like, really think through your words before you say them. But I feel like you're going to be saying a lot to certain people in a lot of areas, especially with this, like, battle of wits that you have with somebody trying to find, you know, constantly navigate where the other one is, where the other ones are. It's like it's, you know, eventually it has to find its balance, you know. Yeah, it's kind of getting towards the end of a cycle, but, you know, so it's like, I feel like some of you know who you're going to pick, you know, already, and you're looking for confirmation. I feel like some of you are a little bit afraid of the future, or if you're going to pick the right person, you know, those kinds of energies are coming through. Definitely pick the person that makes you feel special. That's just me coming through. Yeah, but be selfish. That's definitely a message coming through of being selfish, being, you know, you might as well go with what you're happy with. What makes you happy? What do you want? That's just what you should be, what you go for. Some of you, it's going to take some time. You're going to juggle still. And that's just, you know, you are where you're at. I know some of you are kind of getting worn down. It's like focusing on the bad things instead of the good things. Try to focus on some good things in your life that are going well to help balance that out. Just in general, not even in relation to your relationships. Some of you, that choice person really wants you to choose them. They're like, they see it as a challenge. And I think you know who you are. If you don't know who you are, don't worry about that message. Yeah, they might get a little out of hand. So just be careful with people. Okay, I do see things kind of balancing out with you financially and at work. There was a message like that in group 1 as well. Interesting. I want to hear more about your guys' personal a little bit. So, it's a mix. I'm getting like some of you will experience somebody going into hiding. They may already have based on the choices that you've been making lately. You could feel stuck with telling somebody you want it to be over, or with telling them the truth about somebody else, or telling them the truth about what you want, etc. Others, I see you making a good friend out of like one of these relationships as opposed to a romance. Or maybe you'll focus more on friendships for a while instead of romance with that 9 of Pentacles energy. 3 of Pentacles shows you getting quite well along with others in your work and projects. Making good money type energy is coming through for you. Group 2s, that was another message that just randomly came up for group 1. It's good financial success. And yeah, pulling things together well. You guys see this is a good time to just kind of meticulously plan your next steps for the future, how that may look. And yeah, just to really start working on your own strengths because you have many. Healing is coming if this was a rough romance, which I feel like it might have been or might still be and might still continue to be as you move forward with all this hard work you have to do. And it feels like the people involved with you also have things that they need to work on and things that they, and it's not even anybody's fault, I'm sensing like lots of trauma, lots of miscommunication, lots of lack of skills, like emotional skills, not necessarily you, but just in general. That can always make relationships hard. So with that, let's get you some advice on what to do, what is coming up for you. Ace of Cups, that's good news. Overflowing joy and abundance and cheer. 7 of Wands, victory. So just keep stepping up into your challenges and you'll have victory. Really good financial stuff. And 10 of Pentacles is also about having like a lasting relationship, having a long line of family, having a relationship that has kids and grandkids and that kind of like picture. So big soul family, if not a big physical one. Lots of abundance and joy. The people that you're wondering about, again, I'm seeing a mix, they can step up to their destiny or they can, fold. They're looking down the same barrel as you are, as everybody else is out there in the world, depending on their individual situations. Some of them, yes, are going to stay stuck, where they are for a while, maybe for the duration of time that you know them or have them in your life. Some of them will heal. Some of them you'll never speak to again, yeah. And some of them, you can turn it into something else, something new. Heal it in a different way where you're not like absent from each other's lives. That's also possible for some of you. And I'm sorry, there's so much energy and so many different people. Thank you, Spirit. This is a little... For those of you that will never speak to them again, I feel like you will be okay with that. So if you're like, I would never be okay with never speaking to them again, I don't feel like that's a message for you. I just wanted to reassure. I always call this the reassurance card of like what you're afraid of is not going to happen. It's a big message coming through for this group. And with that, I'm going to go ahead and leave you. If this is helpful, tell me how in the comment section. Give me topic ideas there as well. If you ever want to book a private reading, there are ways to get in touch with me in the description box. And we'll see you next time, my friends. Take care. Bye. Hello, group 3. So if you picked the red and black heart, this will be your reading all about you versus them, what they're feeling versus what you're feeling. what they're thinking versus what you're thinking, what's going on between you, what to expect, that kind of energy. So before we get into your tarot, let's get into your oracle cards. I apologize for that wiggly little howlite heart there. It's going to make all kinds of noise, just wiggling back and forth. This is going to be them and you. Of course, it's going to be tricky with me here. There we go. Okay. Then we will get... I forgot to give one of these to group one, and I feel really guilty about it. Okay. And we'll get some cards for the two of you. Overall energy for y'all. Okay. Hope I see it. I see it's Dinah. This one. Okay. Okay, this one is also speaking to me. So we will also put this one here. Sorry, I stared at it for a long time before I put it out there. Okay, so this is them, this is you. We'll look at you first, how you're feeling, what's going on in your mind. Oh, geez, Louise, my table's way... Oh, no. I can't see what I'm doing, y'all. It's dark. Okay, I think that's good. Yeah, okay. Well, that'll be good to start anyway. We'll start with you, how you're feeling, what's going on with you. Then we'll move over to the person or people, and then we'll look at overall energy between you, and then we'll get into your tarot. So quite the stuff is going on. All right, for you, we have the Little Mermaid Sacrifice, number 7. And the Juniper Tree Deception. My. Okay. So right off the bat, I'm definitely getting romance, which is gross. I'm right off the bat getting like you sacrificed yourself for somebody who was deceiving you. You might have some messages in group 1. I'm feeling some cheating vibes. I'm also feeling that some of you that are watching deceived someone else. And that felt like a sacrifice. Like you don't like to deceive others. Like it's not something that you're like used to doing all the time. Interesting. Very interesting. So I'm feeling like a lot of guilt. And I'm also feeling like a lot of like feelings of betrayal, feeling sad. So like one and the other. So somebody betrayed you by deceiving you and you made sacrifices for that person. The other people, you deceived them, and the deception itself felt like a sacrifice of a sort. I feel like you kind of had your back to the wall and you had to tell like a lie or something along those lines. Interesting. That's all I'm picking up for you. So 2 different, very different situations, 2 very different types of people watching, 2 very different situations. Okay. Overall energy for you, we've got Black Bear number 7 again. Your existence is the resistance. All you must do is accept the power awaiting your arrival. Interesting. that kind of feels like some of you are being hard on yourselves about this lie that you told. And I don't feel like the people that told a lie, I don't feel like that you like lied and cheated. I don't feel like that it had anything to do with infidelity in that particular case. The other people got lied to who had made sacrifices for somebody, and that might not even be an infidelity. It might be for some, but it might be a different type of sacrifice that you made in a different type of betrayal. Interesting. I'm hearing a business thing that some of you or one of you got betrayed by a business partner of some kind. You made sacrifices, and I feel like it might be like a little like independent like business that, like where you're bottling your own stuff, or you built it from the ground up, you created this thing, and they betrayed you that way. They weren't honest with you about something, and maybe they took more than their share. I apologize for the throat clearing. Not much I can do about it. Sorry, guys. Okay. Other things about this bear. I feel like some of you just have a bear spirit guide. Like, not just like any bear, like a bear spirit, like the spirit of bear. It's like more of a godlike kind of god of the animals kind of feeling that I'm getting there. Sorry, you can't really see your cards very well, can you? Okay. Before it was like you could see my floor, which is not very clean right now, so I apologize. Okay. Other things about you, group 1. Number 9 is the bouquet of flowers in Lenormand cards. And you know what? I'm going to go ahead and look it up because I'm not as familiar with card number 9 in Lenormand cards. Lenormand cards 9. The bouquet. Its zodiac sign is connected to Sagittarius. Its timing is springtime. We are in February as I am recording this, though it is a timeless reading. The numbers are like 1, 4, and 7 again. So we have 7. And we also have oh, for the love of Pete. Google is letting me down. Just so you all know. I guess I need a new search engine, Google. Okay. Positive, lighthearted card that generally represents happiness, gifts, and social invitations. Interesting. It's kind of like, for both, like both the people who feel like they betrayed or that they had to tell a lie and that felt like making a huge sacrifice. Your guides are telling you to kind of let it go, that you did the right thing. Like sometimes truths have to be hidden or glossed over for things to be okay. And I feel like that's the case here. I'm not just trying to butter you up and let you off the hook. I just feel like you don't lie even when it's like makes things easier for you. And this time you like felt like you really had to. You just had to do it. It feels like something that didn't even have anything to do with some of you. Like one incident that just went through my head was like, about like some dirt on a couple, and like you kind of maybe care for both of them, or like maybe you just really care for one of them and the other one sucks, or whatever the situation is. But it's like you got dirt and you've chosen not to say anything because to say something would possibly make things really bad, damage things really bad. And so that sacrifice that you're making by telling that fib and going against your own moral code is actually being kind or showing a kindness to people, like protecting certain people. That's just one incident that ran through my head. Those of you that were betrayed, there's also a positive message with this bouquet and the bear. It's like you still exist and you still are the creative force behind whatever this person betrayed you out of, whether that's just your life, you as a person, your business, whatever. Because some of you, I feel like it was a love situation, like you were betrayed by a lover, like cheated on, or, lied to in some other big way that's like unforgivable for you. Deal breaker across the board, whether it's platonic or personal. So I feel like your guides are trying to explain to you that, like, even if somebody ripped off like your entire business, like they got your brand, or they, like, everybody thinks they wrote your song or something along those lines. That I know how devastating that can feel. And I know people that have lost art online. I know people that, I respected and followed, and then found out that they were like ripping other people off, and I was like, no, this card deck right here might be a counterfeit. I remember like buying a few different decks of this until I found the right one, and now I can't, like, I'm not very organized, and so I'm not sure if I grabbed the right one. I'm feeling really bad if I didn't. These are out of print anyway. It's hard to find. They were hard to find when she was still printing them, and even harder to find now that she's not. But anyway, so lots of, and the person I was thinking about like had their own business. So it's like that. I feel definitely like there's this, loss of something big like that. And your guides are saying that it doesn't matter. Like, that was just a lesson that you had to learn along your way to greatness, that you're still going to make a name for yourself. They want to make that very clear, that your essence has not been destroyed by this person's behavior. And those of you that had to kind of break your code to protect others, your guides are saying to you that you need to be light on yourself. You need to like forgive yourself that you did the right thing. Okay. For those people, like, just to give you some more, confirmation that you're in the right room or whatever, you guys that feel bad for having to deceive in some way. Some of you, I feel like you had to lie to like the love of your life. Okay. It might be like something from your past that they don't need to know about, and it would upset them anyway. But like, you feel guilty that you've never told them about it because it would upset them so bad. But like, your guides are actually saying that it's in the past. It's really none of their business, honestly, even though they would think that it's their business if they knew, right? And that they would judge you or something like that. Does that make sense? Like, it's okay to like leave the past in the past. I don't feel like they're going to find out your secret, whatever it is. I don't feel like it's something you should feel bad about. It might be something that you did that was taboo to them, like taboo to a partner. I was like, am I going to say that out loud? Like, it had something to do with like sexuality, like, something about your past intimacy with someone else could be what the thing is that you lied about. I think some of you like maybe said it was like they were like your first intimate partner, and maybe there was something else that happened before, and you chose not to tell them about that for some reason. There's like 3 different scenarios that come into my mind, but I don't want to like say it and like get in trouble for what I say. Like, I feel like somebody maybe experimented with a different type of lifestyle coupling than what your partner now would be comfortable with, perhaps, if that makes sense. That maybe, you said it was your first time, but it wasn't your first time, and then there's like even one that I feel like it wasn't your first like encounter, but the first encounter was not consensual on your part, and so you don't want to talk about that. I hope you guys are picking up what I'm putting down here, because I don't want to go into too much more detail there and make people uncomfortable. Anyway, so those are what I'm picking up for these. It's like, let whatever happened between you and this person. I'm trying to see if there's something else about, I feel like somebody might have lied to their kids about something. And again, it feels like something from your past. And it feels like those same types of scenarios, like something maybe that you did that nowadays you would consider taboo because you're a totally different person now, and you don't want your kid to know that you ever did that because you don't condone that, that sort of thing, and you've talked down about that sort of thing, and you don't want your kid to like know that you embody that taboo. Heavy stuff. Okay. I think I have all the situations. But if you feel like it's still speaking to you and I didn't say your situation in enough detail, always hang out there, like I always say, like, if you feel anything that's pulling you in, there's some kind of a message in there, even if it's just one sentence. I always remind myself of that when I'm watching pick a cards, because I watch a lot of pick a cards. Okay, let's look at your people now, and I'll try to keep my storyline straight here. Rumpelstiltskin's secrets. Yeah, remember that scenario of the person being deceptive in some way. They kept secrets from you. Look at what a beautiful little secret holder this person is. I feel like that really spoke to me of like, I feel like some situations are like the person that betrayed is really like good at fooling other people, and part of it is because they look very sweet, they look very beautiful, handsome, innocent. They have a lot of admirable qualities. My rice is done cooking. One moment. Okay, I think I zoomed it out a little bit better now. We were talking about that person being very sweet, and that is part of why they deceived you, was that you just never in a million years would have guessed. And I know that always comes with a bit of shame for people when people get one over on you, or you totally misjudge somebody. Don't be like me and try to forgive yourself for that when that happens. I'm really hard on myself when I'm like, you're so stupid, you deserve what you got, like, not that I say I deserved what I got, and I'm always easier on other people. Like if somebody else is deceived, I'm like, go easy on yourself. You couldn't have known, right? Or you did the best you could with the information that you had. But if it happens to me, I'm like, oh, I'm such a dumb B word. Like, I call myself a B word. It's insane. So don't do that, okay? I feel like this person has fooled a lot of people. This betrayer. This villain. This two-faced. You know what? You know what I'm saying? Let's see what else is going on here. Okay. And then, yeah, this is very split down the middle, which is great. So the betrayer, and then this is like the person that trusts you and you told a lie and you're feeling bad. I'm not... This looks like a goat and not a sheep, but its face looks like a sheep. It's definitely a goat, right? But I got that black sheep feeling. Like, some of you, I feel like you lied about like not being as naughty as you were back in school. Like, it feels very like you're beating yourself up over too much. I have to be honest. But this one definitely feels like the person who betrayed. This one definitely feels like the person who got, fibbed to, the child or the partner. And you don't want them to know about your shady past or something that you did that they would find taboo. That you won't be who they thought you were, who you presented yourself to be. But I really don't feel like I feel like you definitely believe you did something wrong. I'm totally letting you off the hook, and your guides are trying to as well. I totally understand. And if you've got a really good track record of like, I've never lied, even like to help myself or to help someone else, like it means that much to me. I get it. Like, the more time you have where you haven't done something that you consider bad and then you have to do it, that can be really hard. I get it. So, okay. So those are the types of situations that I'm seeing. The types of relationships, like I said, romantic and or the parent dynamic, business partners, best friends are the relationships that I'm seeing coming through here. And that goes for either of the situations, just to help confirm more. So let's look and see what is going on between you overall. Let's look at these first. Sexual union. Honor the place in one another where you are one eternal soul, for there you will find true bliss. Interesting. Okay. I definitely feel like that's a message in there for the lovers or partners who are feeling guilty about telling some kind of a lie to your partner and feeling really, really sad about that. I really, I really don't feel like that's a message for the people who were deceived or got cheated on, unless you've forgiven that person. Sorry, I keep hearing the gosh darndest craziest noises, especially during this video. So like lots of bumps in the night keep startling me. And I go, oh, what's that? I always think, did I clear my space enough? I don't know if you can hear all this stuff going on right now. If you don't, I just sound crazy. Okay. For those of you that were betrayed, I feel like this is a message to you saying, find somebody that honors that sexual union, especially if it was some kind of a union, of like marriage or like something really serious, serious stuff. For partnership, finding a new partner, even if that's just within yourself, somebody who actually honors that union with you. Okay. Next, and for the parent child, obviously there's not anything here for you other than just honoring each other's relationship, just honoring them as a person. Don't let this one thing that you had to do like define your relationship with your kid, or like I had to lie, and that means I'm a bad parent. If you're a parent sitting there thinking, oh, I'm a bad parent, you're probably a pretty good parent. Because the worst parents are the ones that make lots of excuses for their bad behavior, and the good parents are the ones that go, I'm a bad parent, I did everything wrong. Okay. In general. Okay, let's go ahead and look at this one too. Manifesting miracles. Your dream is soon to become reality. Trust your heart and continue to follow its guidance. Okay. Please excuse my sniffles. I think I'll just be sniffly for the rest of my life, so people are just going to have to live with me being sniffly 24/7. Your guides are showing like you're not diminished by any of this, and you're not diminished by any of this, and you're not going to stay feeling sad like you are right now. And that goes for both. I forgot to flip these over for your people. Dreamwell Realm 20. Not everything is what it may seem. Bring yourself back from all time and all places as a new perspective can be seen. So I've got like some Hanged Man energy going on here. I also feel like your guides, perhaps you did not know you were being betrayed, and this was a confirmation reading for some of you. I do feel that coming through, and just did not confirm that for myself until this moment. That somebody's trying to put you in a dream realm, that they tried, that snake is encircling that person's body. Oh, there's two snakes. There might be two people who betrayed you, eh? That's not cool. So anyway, some more confirmation there for the people who were betrayed. And then for the others, it's again like that idea of like the other person might not even be as upset as you think that they are that you told this fib, especially later on when they get older, for the kids. For partners, like when the relationship has like matured a little bit as well, that can also be a time where we get a little less like hurt feelings at each other for like perceived slights, like, you lied to me. I didn't lie. I just didn't tell you about it. And like, that's the same thing, you know? Like, trust me, if somebody that's been in a relationship for 26 years, like, you start not caring about all that stuff later. You really do. You're like, why did I even get mad about that? What were you even fighting about? And I feel like your guides are trying to reassure you with that as well, with your person, that it's not actually going to be like a deal breaker that's going to break you apart. Like I said, they're either not going to find out, they're not going to care as much as you thought they would. Okay, I think I covered everything with that card. Let's flip this one over. We have the Mountain. I'll look this one up too. You're like, yay, because it went so well last time, Miriam. Oh, 21. The Mountain that represents obstacles, delays, blockages, and challenges that require patience and endurance. Generally considered a negative or neutral card. Yeah, it's like this thing that you're going through with these people, you're like having it's like a hurdle that you just have to get through. And those of you that still have a relationship with these people, it's going to be fine. Those of you that were betrayed by these people, you have to move through the wreckage of what they caused and rebuild your life in some cases, right? And in some cases, rebuild your identity. But at the same time, once you get over to the top of that mountain, you're going to shine. You got that bouquet, you got the bear. Your existence is the resistance, right? They hate you because they ain't you. It's not the exact quote from that movie, but ooh, this card came right out for you. So we're going to set that right over there. We still have 3 more of these to get through for energy between you. We have, you deserve love. You are lovable. Damn straight. Ooh, calling in your soulmate. Your prayers, affirmations, and visualizations help bring you together. A new love, a new person has stirred your romantic feelings. Okay, so here's the deal, y'all. I'm seeing that overall your guys are saying you deserve love. Okay, for those of you that were betrayed, you know, there's a certain degree of shame that goes along with that, that you're unlovable, and that's why they betrayed you. Your guides are saying to let that go. You deserve love. You are lovable. Those of you that are still with your lover, you know, start affirming and visualizing you being soulmates, being together forever, being whatever you want your union between you to be, and it shall be. And then for those of you that have broken up with someone, calling in your soulmate is just this idea that something ends to bring in what you really needed or what you really deserve to begin with. That new love goes along with it as well. I feel like some of you that feel like you had to tell a little lie and that's like going to affect everything forever, that you're going to have and maintain a strong relationship with your child or your lover, depending on which camp you're in there. All good things. So let's go ahead and see why this card popped out. 5 of Wands, conflict. I really feel like y'all are having, especially the people who had to lie, I feel like you're really having a hard time with believing that things can get better. Those of you that were betrayed, I think, are having a really hard time believing that you could ever find somebody that you could trust again, that anybody like that cared about you could have done this to you, etc. and so forth. I feel a lot of like conflict and agitation in your body, your mind, and your soul. So let's work on that. 8 of Diamonds. Your guides are saying to just take it one day at a time, guys. You know, like, you're not going to feel like you do right now, even as severely tomorrow, and it's just going to lessen. Time does heal all wounds, etc. and so forth, or at least heals them over enough that they're not so raw. Queen of Wands. You have your power. You are not diminished. Your family or your relationship is going to grow and last if that's what you want. We know who you are, right? yeah, the truth or the sacrifice that you made, you know, is going to be worth it, that you'll learn something from this situation. You're all going to learn something from this situation. This all happened for a reason, regardless of which situation scenario you were in. Okay. What's going to happen to your people? Let's look at the ones who betrayed first. Let's look at the lovers who betrayed. Four of Wands. Queen of Pentacles. Okay, so that person might end up getting to be with someone else, like that actually is a good match for them, makes them happy. I know that you probably don't want to hear that right now, but your guides are assuring you that you will be at peace with it by the time that happens for them, that you'll have matured, they'll have matured, you'll have healed by that point, and so it won't matter. What else about the lovers who betrayed? Yeah, I see you just like not hanging on to the burden of like worrying about them getting theirs, or maybe you don't even feel that right now. Maybe you're just like, I wish them the best. It's not going to be with me, you know, like, and honestly, that's the best, healthiest way to handle things. It sucks when like you can't make those feelings happen. For those of you that maybe do have some, you know, anger and things that need to resolve first, your guides are assuring you that you will get through this. Okay. Let's look at those that betrayed who were in business type stuff together. I'm just going to lay them out first. Oh my. Okay, it looks like they're going to get theirs, the Tower. Okay. Their future's going to look bright to them for a momentary moment. And then smash, it's going to come crashing down. They're going to become trapped in their own snare, as you want to call it, and you are going to look better in comparison. So that's a very nice little positive message for those that were betrayed by like a business type partner. Okay, if you want to claim that for a lover, please do. If it feels right, it feels right. Now let's look at your people for those who told a lie. Let's look at the lovers first. See, yeah, Knight of Cups. Your guides are saying just keep being your wonderful self to them in every other way. You're going to be fine. You're going to be together. That some of them would even understand more than you think they would. You have protection. And things are going to be fine and lasting. Like, again, just a very, very positive message that that person is not going to be wanting to leave you or anything like that. For children, Ace of Wands. I feel like eventually they're going to learn understanding about what happened and healing will take place. Okay. They're going to have their own hurts in life and relate to some of the things you went through that they might not understand right now, but will understand later. Right? Justice, finding balance, the right thing will happen. I also feel like this is another message with your guides saying everything, you're not like going to the Hades place for this, right? Some call it hell, I call it Hades. All right. And yeah, good messages are coming in. Like good news is coming forward to you at this time. And good news is coming in for your people. Okay. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and leave it here. One more overall message, it looks like. Emotional contentment. Go with the flow, y'all. It's going to be fine. I thank you for being here. If this is helpful, tell me how in the comment section. Give me topic ideas there as well. If you'd like to book a private reading with me, there are ways to get a hold of me in the description box. We will see you next time, guys. Thank you. Bye-bye-bye-bye. Hello, group 4. So if you picked the little snowy quartz and the Starman Tarot, let's go ahead and get into your reading all about you and this other person. Romantic, platonic, professional, or personal. Ooh, a card already wants to come out, so I'm going to set that sideways on the deck so I don't forget. we're going to get into your oracle cards first. So we're going to put you over here, your person over here. And we're going to look at you first, how you feel, what your situation is. That'll help confirm you're in the right group. Then we'll look at your person. Then we'll get some overall oracle cards for your relationship together and some advice about going forward. And then we'll get into your tarot with just whatever comes out from your guides. So group 4 versus their person. And if you hear me pausing, it's just because there's very strange noises going on tonight. Thank you. Okay. Interesting. This one wants to come out for the middle. The rest of the groups did not get that extra card. They just got one for their side and one for the other side. Look at that. It happened again. Oh, okay. Thank you. Okay. Interesting. I'll get some for your situation. Whatever your guides have to say about it. I'm going to say one of these, but who knows? We'll see what we get. Kind of shuffling off camera because they have some nudity in them. Okay. All right, these are all pretty side beebish. This one too, huh? Okay. Good, that one's less naked. Wow, and this one. Okay, enough. We'll be here all night. Okay. Interesting group. Lots of cards. Here we go. Starting with you. Oh, hang on. We need some of these. I almost forgot about these with group 1 as well. Actually, I did forget. They didn't get one at all. I feel really bad about it. Okay. Just moving on. The Rose Elf Revelations, number 29. There was another group that got this card. I can't remember which group it was. Maybe group 2. Something coming up that maybe group 1. You learned something you didn't know before. 40, Dawn the golden haired duty. So some of your names might be Dawn. Some of you might be reading about somebody named Dawn. The name Dawn might mean something to you in some other way. The word Dawn might mean something to you. You might have golden hair, which is just confirmation that you're here. You might be 40. Duty is the message with that card. Some of you might wear decorative things in your hair. I did not notice the skulls in this before, which is very interesting. The Rose Elf. I feel like maybe some of you also may have the name Rose. Some of you might be 29. Some of you might... That name, the Rose Elf, might be something like close to the name of a store you know, or something. Like a makeup color or something like that. Okay. Interesting energy already, group 4. It feels like it's pretty much just describing you at this point. Something came to your attention, or you want to know something about your person that you're here to read about. That's coming through. Some of it does feel like there's somebody watching because they're curious if somebody likes them back. But there's other things that are here that are very in depth. Like there's some weird questions about family coming from over here. About people over here, some family questions. It feels like maybe like wondering about, certain people's sides of certain stories and not knowing whose side of the story to believe, for example. Okay. Okay, let's keep looking. Grimoire 24, keep what is sacred near to you, for it is only to be shared when you are ready. Yeah, and I'm feeling like this, like, family hand-me-downs, like finding things out about your family, maybe in like an old book, or old keepsakes, old letters, those kinds of things. And learning, like, I feel like maybe there's somebody watching whose parents have passed or grandparents have passed, and you're like the oldest one going through all this stuff, and you're finding out all kinds of interesting information about your people, or information that you're finding about your people might be affecting somebody over here. We'll see. That's a lot of scenarios. I really hope that you guys can follow me. Okay. There's another skull. Skulls. Finding something out about medical history, like finding out that there's like a genetic something passed on that will affect everyone's future in some way, or could affect people's future in some way, like finding out that you are genetically predisposed to something serious is also coming through. Okay. And 8, yeah, like thinking about death, wondering about mortality. Sorry, I'm going to set these up here real quick. Another card has popped out for you, so I'm going to put that over there as well. I'm new to Lenormand cards, so I'm just going to let Google help me here. Yeah, like it's like there's this fear of death coming from like the health people, and then there's like people that are wondering about their family health history and things like that. Or if a parent just passed away, you could have just gotten done dealing with like a very long illness and like a very long like funeral procession of different kinds. You're grieving right now. For others, I'm feeling like a stagnation, wanting to have answers to things. Maybe somebody has passed away that had the answers and now you'll never know. Lots of different energy. No wonder there's so many middle cards. Yeah, illness and health. But like also a need for rest. Like resting from like your duties. Like I feel like I just had a flash of a friend who like all of her parental figures and grandparent type figures all passed away very close to the same time, and she was like the executor of like every single estate. At least that's what it felt like when she told me the stories. I was just like, oh my gosh, she's having to do another one, and so that takes a toll. Like even regardless of what the relationship was like that's a lot of death to deal with. So getting that energy as well. Okay, so let's look into your people. The Goose Girl Theft, number 15. 20, the Red Shoes Obsession. These are really interesting. I'm actually going to do all of them at once. Dream Realm, not everything is what it may seem. Bring yourself back from all time and all places as a new perspective can be seen. Number 20. This card was also for the last group. We have the Anchor, number 35. For your people. Okay. So because there's lots of people over here, there's lots of messages coming in for different people over here. So I'm going to do my best. I apologize if like you only get messages over here and not over here because I just couldn't get to them in time, or I just loop-de-looed in my brain and didn't make it that far. I am just going to say, take what resonates and leave the rest. It is a general reading, blah, blah, blah. Okay. The Anchor is like stability, endurance, everything that you normally would think about with like symbolism with anchors. And Some of you feel like you've lost an anchor. And obviously, if you're dealing with a lot of grief and or anticipating a lot and goodbye, or later years filled with like kind of degenerative health or whatever, if that's what you're staring down the barrel at, so to speak, you might feel like your anchor has been ripped away from you because of losing somebody that used to give that stability before. Okay, so that's one message that's coming through for the anchor. For other people, I'm also seeing like an obsession over certain people who had information that you cannot speak to now, right? Some of you might actually be wondering if they have messages for you from the other side. If you could figure out a way to get in touch with them, would they get back to you on that? Could it be possible to learn anything? Is it possible at all for that to be a thing, right? Theft, like a theft, I feel like the theft of like time, having like a childhood ripped away, understanding of childhood being ripped away from someone, worrying that it's being ripped away from somebody else, like because maybe you don't feel as much of an anchor person as the person that is now gone, and so now you worry about the little ones and whether or not you're going to live up to that big responsibility. That's something that's coming through. Not seeing things for what they could be, seeing things incorrectly is a fear that I'm feeling coming from both you and in just understanding your people. Some of you are scared that you're not going to be able to get in touch with these people. They might be people that you need a message from. That's another thing that keeps coming through. So we might get into some of that with your tarot. I will do my best. There might be something that comes through. If you are here because you're trying to contact a past loved one, then chances are you're in the right place if this topic is coming up, because it doesn't always come up. And that would be confirmation that I would take is like, okay, they're here and they have a message for me. Okay, so just take that as confirmation, even if I don't tap into what they looked like, who they were, what their name was, or any of that stuff. You can just let that go. I feel like that would be confirmation enough that you have people here or souls here that are trying to guide you and help you with the exact things that you were wondering about, the exact things that you've lost. Okay. Somebody over here that you know has an obsessive mind. Somebody you know over here has stolen things from you, like family members. I am not feeling a ton of romance. Unless it was like a romance where somebody passed away, but that's a stretch for me actually. So unless that really resonated with you, just take what I said before. Things are going to be seen differently forever now, and you know that, and it's going to be seen differently from the people that you're asking about. The people that you're asking about, if they've passed, they're going to see things differently. Some of you might be having that moment of feeling like, oh my gosh, can they see what I'm doing like all the time? Should I feel embarrassed? Can they see me naked? Is that like a thing? Yeah. And with that one, I always say they don't seem to care if they do see us that way. They don't ever mention it. And somebody explained it to me of like, oh, they're not interested in the physical world, therefore it's a moot point. It's like noticing the sky is blue, I guess. Or maybe not even that profound, noticing that the floor is wood, So, somebody over here knows somebody who's young, like 20, somebody who's 15. 20 and 20 are both on these cards. Interesting. I feel like some of you, you've lost someone and you're worried about the younger people. Not having that stability from you, but not having the stability from that person that they've lost, and not being okay that they lost that person. Oh, I know I'm not going to get all of this. It's already all slipping out of my brain. My poor muddled brain. Okay. Any other things about the anchor? Some of you will see people that you know involved in this, the people that you're watching this, that you're wondering about, that they will become an anchor of some type, and you're not expecting that to happen, but it is something that's going to happen for some of them. Oh, goodness gracious. Some of you are worried about the younger ones because of your health situation, like finding out that maybe you could possibly get like a really bad rare form of whatever, right? And that's what got your parents, and that's what got your grandma so-and-so and your aunt so-and-so too, and now you're older, and what are they going to do? You know, that kind of energy is also coming through. Your guides are reassuring that your children would be fine, that they would anchor themselves, that you need to look at it from a different perspective. And I know that's hard to do, and I feel like terrible about trying to silver line things for people that just got really bad news about health. You know, if you've watched the channel, you know that I've got health issues, and you know, sometimes you don't want to hear positive, well, maybe this will happen. Maybe they'll figure it out. Maybe you should go to this kind of specialist. Have you tried this? And you're like, yes, I've been trying everything, Martha. You know, I just can't deal with this conversation anymore. I'm feeling that coming in for some of you. And so it's like, you know, staring down a barrel. We said that earlier, you know, or looking down at a really long, awful road, or a long, awful goodbye. And your guides are saying to shift your perspective into, I don't want to say practical thinking, but like realistic thinking of like everybody who comes to this earth came here to die in some manner, in some form. And we signed up for it, whether we remember signing up for it or not. Sorry, bad timing. Okay, so anyway, back to where we were before. I think I covered everything, but I probably didn't. I'm sorry. We gotta move on. Let's move on. And look at what's between you guys. No wonder there's so many things here. Hopefully these will be self-explanatory. Otherwise, I'm going to have to go back and watch everything we just recorded. Poisoned apple, jealousy, and number 6. Jealousy. Okay, I just heard some of you say you were jealous that somebody else passed away, and now you're dealing with what they would normally have to deal with if they are still alive. I don't feel like you're really actually jealous. I think that that's just like something that's coming through your mind from time to time. So that's the first message that's coming through with that card. And I really hope I'm not repeating myself now, but if you're somebody that found out something about your health being something bad, you know, or something being taken because their health was bad, it could feel like there's like poison in your like genes kind of feeling. It's a really interesting group. So it's been an interesting reading in general. Like I was expecting like, you know, one person thinking about one other person, but I'm getting a lot of other stuff. Other messages there, Spirit, help me. Some of you might be jealous of people who are well right now, or people who have like no health issues. Okay, I'm just going to move along and get this next card here. Coming of spring, number 15. Beneath my feet stir the walking, spiraling surges of warmth that tell of life ready to birth. And they're in a graveyard. It's like this, there's more of that, you know, tomb kind of burial energy coming through as well with this card. It's like this idea of, you know, death just kind of separating people, or the threat of death, or the threat of early death, or the threat of early decline in health. And your guides are saying in regards to your people to remember to look at things from a different perspective, that they're going to see things from a perspective different than what you're envisioning they will in some cases. Okay. Moving on. Let's look at these real quick. Separation, time apart from your partner is on the horizon. I feel like some of you are having to go deal with these like situations and you're worried about people that are not going with you. Like if you're going somewhere else for like a funeral or a memorial of some kind. Okay, playfulness to recapture romance, allow your inner youthful spirit of fun to shine. I feel like your guides are kind of saying to not forget your sense of humor during this time. I know that can sound very morbid, but you know, when you experience different kinds of loss, you know, sometimes there are moments of laughter and moments of playfulness that help. It's really good medicine to just let yourself laugh if you can at certain things and just go with it. Is definitely a message coming in for both you and your people that you're worried and wondering about. Also, this separation feeling, I feel like, you know, again, that message coming through of people being here to try to find out about their person that's passed away. And, you know, please know that they're fine. You know, like that they're coming through, they're here with us. You know, that was something that was coming through earlier. I wanted to recapture that and say it again. And they're definitely saying that even if you're separated, to still have a good time, to still feel good. You know, it's just a temporary separateness, etc. Retreat. It's time to disconnect from the world. Yeah, some of you need a break, most definitely, if you can get one. And if that's going back to work with, you know, where nobody cares or has time to talk about what you've been going through, maybe that's a good thing. You know, it might be just the break that you need, because I feel like you guys have been going through it for quite some time now. Okay. Okay, let's go ahead and just keep going. Criticizing one another will only lead to further unhappiness. Love and accept each other as you are, and your relationship will magically transform. If there's anything going on with like blame games that people say when they're grieving, you guys know what I'm talking about? Here's a cliche one that I really hope is not actually happening to somebody in real life, because not only would I be like incredibly hurt if somebody I loved said this to me, I would be so mad that somebody I loved said a cliche. It was like, I wish you were the one who died instead of dad, right? How many times have you seen movies where people say that? And you're like, harsh kid, super harsh, right? Anyway, not to make light of any of this, but remember playfulness. Yeah, I'm feeling like there might be some of that going on, and that might be why you're kind of worried about what that person thinks of you, if they think that you can't handle your stuff. Maybe you don't feel like you have time to grieve because you have to act like you have it together, or these people over here are going to like know that you are weak and they're not going to feel stable if they're like they're your children or whatever, right? Or if somebody's watching you from beyond the grave, they might be disappointed in the job you're doing. They might not be proud of you. Please let thoughts like that go if you can. First of all, kids are just kids. And they say the darndest things, don't they? Those little darlings can say some of the meanest things that anyone has ever said to you in your entire life. And you're like, ouch, ouch, that really hurt, kid. Thank you. Your guides and your loved ones who have passed, they just want everybody to be okay. They feel a lot better than you do wherever they are. I promise. Because, you know, they've shuffled off that mortal coil. They can see everybody still. You can't, you know. And so that's something to come through as well. Here's another card. New beginning, a new adventure awaits. Embrace it and live your dreams passionately. Yeah, there's still life to be had and experiences to go through, etc. Man, you got a lot of cards. Okay. They're generally covered up. I don't know. So this card says surrender. At times we must surrender the old before something new can enter our lives. Let go and all will work out. Yeah, I feel like we had that thing about having rest, getting rest, looking at things in a different perspective, knowing that people that we're worried about are actually not seeing things in the way that we're worrying they will. Okay. A lot of reassurance coming through. We also have these two. They're kind of naked, but they have like the naughtiest bits covered. So I don't know. A message for you. I'm thinking of you. This is very moment. Your love fills me with light. I love you. Okay. This definitely feels like a message from somebody from beyond. If you were trying to make contact, there's more confirmation for you there that your people are here, that they care about you, that they're okay, that they're healed. If you could do anything, what would it be? The answer dwells in your heart, not in your mind. For the heart is the gateway to the soul. What is it you want to do? That just came out of nowhere. For some of you, I feel like that's a question from your guides. For others, I feel like you're questioning it, not for yourself. Like, what do I do now? Okay, they're here. So what do we do now? Or, okay, they're gone. What do we do now? I'm alone. What do I do now? They're going to handle it how they handle it. What do I do now? You know, those are all coming through. Now, you had 2 tarot cards come out very quickly before I even got a chance to shuffle for you on camera. So we're going to go ahead and check those out. I'm going to flip them off camera in case there's nudity. Yep. Goodness gracious. Okay. We have the Lovers and the Princess of Pentacles, or the Page of Pentacles. So let's go ahead and put that one down there. Yes, indeed. This one needs to be covered up. Well, goodness gracious. Okay. Here's the Lovers card. Yikes. Oh my gosh. Okay. It's the Lovers card in case you can't see what's going on anymore. Oh, yikesies, yikesies. Okay. The Lovers card, a lot of times I feel like it's when we're dealing with like messages from beyond, it's a reassurance of heaven or a heavenly space or like a paradise, if you will. A lot of spirits will show like the Empress card or the Lovers card to me to show that they're like in a heavenly space. The Page of Pentacles is usually somebody who has a message. So like, again, this is confirmation from you people that are here wondering if your loved ones in spirit are here with you, that, or if somebody's out there has a message for you. This is confirmation that yes, they do. Okay. Again, they've kind of said the messages already when we were doing confirmation, so we're just going to keep going with reading and figuring out what they want to say as we trudge along. Oh my goodness gracious. 4 of Wands. I'm going to get a few more and then we can delve. King of Cups in reverse. Prince of Pentacles. That's the Knight of Pentacles. Okay. King of Cups in reverse. Like, I feel like, you know, regardless of what messages are coming through, you know, for you at this time, we all totally understand, myself and your guides, that you're not going to feel your tip-top self for tonight. You know, we get that, but your guides are saying this message of eventually you will, you know, turn that around and feel better, right? that you're going to find an anchor of some kind, that people around you are going to come through in ways that surprise you in good ways. Celebration and balance is also in the cards for you that your guides want you to think about. There's healing with this like symbol here. This is also a good card for couples, even though I haven't really gotten a big couple vibe here. You know, if you lost somebody that was the anchor of your life and they were like your spouse, and I just didn't pick up on that until now, they definitely would be showing that you still are their person. You know, you're still the love of their life, etc. and so forth. They're preparing a place for you. That kind of heavenly energy is also part of the Four of Wands. The Knight of Pentacles, they're definitely telling you to take life slow, to plan for the future, but to be easy on yourself, to not rush yourself, to head in the right direction. Yes, make progress, but you don't have to rush things. And that's good, that you need time to heal and that you will have time to heal. Okay. More messages, please. I feel like this is a message coming in for those who kind of maybe lost parents or somebody who you really depended on. And I know we've already kind of gotten that, but like maybe specifically to the people who have lost like a parent and now you're kind of in a position of authority that you weren't in before. This is a message for that. Yeah, you're going to have to like kind of struggle for a while. Yoinksies. Sorry. You know, things aren't going to get 100% better right away, you know, and it's going to feel like you're juggling, but your guides are showing that you're going to do a good job, that your loved ones are going to do a good job if they're still here. If you are worried about your loved ones over there, they will help you through this time, is definitely a message that I'm picking up through here. Like, even if you can't see them or hear them or even feel them, you know, there's reassurance here that they're going to check in on you. And I feel like that from everyone's guides, even if you're not looking at this from a people have passed away perspective. Six of Swords, what do we tell you? Protection, swooping in at the right exact time or moment to help you. These revelations that you're seeking, there was something about family history way back before in the reading. And I feel like there's something coming through about that, like feeling divided between like sides of family, perhaps. Feeling divided with your feelings about how you felt about somebody before you learned new things about them and what you know now, because you were going through family history and you found out things that perhaps you did not want to know. A lot of times that happens when people pass away. You find out dirty secrets and revelations of, you know, journals or whatever, right? Ten of Swords in reverse. Now, your guys are being very reassuring that you're not stuck. Your communication with those over here are not stuck. You know, your ability to heal is not stuck. Your ability to process the information that you've learned, you are not stuck with that. You are not going to fail at stepping up and being in some position of authority. You are going to heal, etc. My goodness. Okay. Seven of Swords. Ace of Cups. And the High Priestess. In this particular case, I feel like the Seven of Swords is telling you, again, your guides are saying you've got this. Overflowing joy is coming towards you. This is not the end. This is just the beginning that keeps coming into my head. And you know what to do. You will know what to do when the time comes, etc. That's something else that's coming through for you. So your loved ones, if they're on the other side, they truly are here. They really do love you. Lots of energy is coming through from them. For those of you who have learned things about your history or your family's history or personal information you maybe didn't want to know, but now you do, and etc. and so forth, your guides are showing that there's a reason that you know that now. There's a reason that you've learned that information. It's going to come in handy in some way later, and I know that sounds kind of weird. It's going to come in handy in ways that aren't really related to the acts themselves, if that helps. If you're in a power position now, we talked about that. These people that are now supposed to be anchored by you are going to do much better than you think they're going to do. That's another message that came through. What else? I feel the reassurance again with the Ace of Cups and the High Priestess and, the Seven of Swords about being skilled enough to pull off the impossible is like a message that I get with this card. Yeah. And with that, I think I shall leave you because they just keep saying the same things over and over again, you guys. I hope this was helpful. I know that there was a lot of weird, different energy all colliding together, and it was a general reading. And so I know that some of you maybe just got a few little snippets of information, but I hope that it was helpful. If it was, tell me how in the comment section. Give me topic ideas there as well. If you'd like to book a private read with me, there are ways to do so in the description box. We'll see you next time, my friends. Take care. Bye 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 bye.